What's up, guys? This is Kick It with KC. Welcome to my channel where I talk about all things finances and lifestyle. If you like this kind of content, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And I hope you're ready to kick it with me because I have a lot to talk about today about a very popular grocery shopping service called Instacart. Now, the things I'm going to dive into are things I wish I knew before I became an Instacart shopper. I think it's a great side hustle and there's so many of these services out there. These are just some things I wish I knew before signing up because I don't think it's the best service for me. And I've been an Instacart shopper for about a year now, so I have learned a lot about the process, how it works, and the cons. So if you want to hear about the things I don't like about being an Instacart shopper, keep watching. The first thing that you should know that I think is the most important thing about Instacart shopping is that I don't think Instacarting is something you can just do around the schedule that you already have, and here's why. The orders that come in, meaning the grocery orders that you're going to be fulfilling, are called batches. Now, these batches are only released at certain times of day. The app does show you the most popular times to shop each day of the week, but I don't think it's 100% accurate, so that's just something to look out for. And what I've noticed in my town is that the most popular times to shop are between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. And that's not necessarily what the app tells you are the most popular times, but that's when I see the most batches coming in, and there's probably the least amount of shoppers at that time. Remember, you're gonna have competition, and it's first come, first served to these batches. So if you have a job already that's a 9 to 5, or you already have a set schedule of some sort, this isn't one of those services where you can just pick up the app anytime and there's batches waiting to be fulfilled. It obviously might be different depending on where you live. If you're in a big city where the clientele is going to be much larger, there's probably more consistent batches at all times of day, but that's definitely not the case where I live, and it's something I had hoped for just because I wanted something that I could do on my own time when I wanted to do it, not waiting around for batches to come in. The next couple things I don't like about Instacart have to really do with location. So it's depending on where you live, and I'm just speaking from my own experience, and I live in a small suburban town. We have a large university here, so there's a lot of apartment complexes. We have like a little downtown area. It's not really a city, I wouldn't consider it. But it's just something to think about my location versus maybe wherever you are living or wherever you're thinking about doing the service. So the first thing I will talk about is navigating apartment complexes. Again, there's a college where I live that's very big, so we have a lot of apartment complexes in this area, and obviously there's different security levels to those apartment complexes. So what I mean is if you're doing contactless delivery, and you go to the apartment complex and you show up to the main doors and they're locked, how are you going to get in? You really need to think about that ahead of time. Hopefully, if you've noticed on the map that they do live in an apartment complex, you're going to want to make sure the person who ordered the groceries is ready on standby to let you into the building. Because if not, you could have minutes or even hours wasted waiting at the door to deliver these items, and now you're just losing money because it took you 2 hours to fulfill the order instead of 1. One of my friends that also Instacart shops had a horror story about that, where she tried to deliver the items. She couldn't get into the front doors of the apartment complex. The person who ordered the groceries was not able to be contacted. She tried messaging them through the app and calling their cell phone number, and she couldn't get a hold of them, and she was just waiting outside this apartment complex for over an hour trying to get these groceries delivered. And it was very frustrating, as you can see, and it wastes your time. If you only have so many hours a day to shop, you don't want to be taking 2 hours to fulfill one order. Going along with the issues of navigating apartment complexes is the issue of parking. Now, this could be parking at the apartment complex. You might also struggle to find parking at the grocery store itself. Again, if you live in a big city, a lot of times you'll have to deal with metered parking garages. Luckily, I don't have that issue where I live. All of the stores have plenty of parking right in front of the store, so that's really nice. And going along with the whole parking and location basis, obviously you're going to put wear and tear on your car, and it's going to cost you gas money. I live in an area, like I said, that's semi-suburban. There are rural areas on the outskirts as well, and obviously sometimes you have to drive a good distance. You are going to be wasting gas money. Maybe if you have an efficient car like a hybrid or a Tesla or something, that might not be an issue to you. But it's just something to consider because the more gas you use up, obviously you're going to have to put that back into your tank at some point. So I think of it as less money you're making in that batch. Those 3 things are mainly location based. Again, navigating apartment complexes, parking, and the wear and tear on your car, and the cost of gas are all things that you have to consider if you're going to sign up for a service like this. And obviously, there are plenty of other delivery services that you also have to consider these things for, but the only one that I've done is Instacart, so that's why I'm just solely referring to Instacart in this case. The last thing that I really don't like about Instacart is the fact that the people who order their groceries through Instacart have up to 24 hours to edit their tip once their batch has been fulfilled. So that could mean a few things. It could go either way, honestly, but I think most of the time it can harm you rather than help you. I think most of the time this situation can harm you rather than help you, and here's why. So, say I fulfill an order because there was a $20 tip on that order and I saw it and I was like, oh, swipe to accept right away. I want that 20 bucks. Then I go to deliver the order, have no issues fulfilling it, and 24 hours later they turn my tip from $20 to $2. And I just wasted that time thinking I was making $25 an hour, including the Instacart payment, when now I just made $7. That's a big deal, I think. Obviously, I'm signing up ahead of time for how much I'm going to make versus how much time it's going to take me to fill that order. So I wouldn't want my tip to be changed. Obviously, if it only was a $2 tip in the first place, I might not have accepted that batch. So that's something that they can do that really can harm you in the long run. I know it doesn't happen often, but there's definitely people that aren't so nice out there that would do something like that just so their order will get fulfilled quicker because they know shoppers will see that large tip amount and they'll want to fulfill it right away. Finding a delivery service or a side hustle that works for you is what's important, and your experiences might be different than mine, but those are just some things that I don't like, that don't work well with my lifestyle or what I am looking for in a side hustle. I hope you consider those tips before joining, or at least you know a little bit more and are more informed, because these are things I didn't find out until after I started Instacart shopping, and I think it would have been really nice and helpful to know those things ahead of time. So if you like this video, don't forget to please give it a big thumbs up. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for kicking it with KC.